Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Plus. I'm Shweta Kothari. We're bringing you stories from the world of business, policy and economy. First up, let's begin with Indian markets. Markets continue to remain under pressure today, with both benchmark falling over 0.5% in today's trading day. With me in the studio are my colleagues Krishnakumar and Suyash. Suyash, let's quickly take a update from you as to how markets closed this afternoon.
So, Shweta, after fighting off that profit booking for the two consecutive sessions, Indian markets finally witnessed a crash today. Both Nifty and Sensex fell about 0.5% on weak global cues. The biggest overhang for the market was the minutes of the US Federal Reserve's July monetary policy meeting, which hinted that there is a possibility of further rate hikes to tame the sticky inflation. Now, Nifty ended 0.51% lower at 19,365 mark. It has still managed to defend that crucial support of 19,300, which is a good news for the investors. Sensex was down 0.58% at 65,157 levels. Mid cap and the small cap index saw some buying interest today. Mid-cap 100 index was up about 0.25% at 37,895 points, and small-cap index was up 0.14% at 11,745 levels.
All right. Also joining us on the show at this point is Kranthi Bathini, who's a markets expert. Kranthi, good to have you back. Explain to us what's happening in the markets today. Weak global cues not just hurting all Asian indices, but also having a solid impact there on Indian markets.
Yes, Shweta, definitely the global cues are impacting the markets on a negative side, and markets have been drifting down at this point of time. We can call this as a kind of a consolidation on Indian markets after RBI monetary policy and the as your colleague rightly mentioned about the Federal Reserve Open Market Committee minutes that we are ready for a next couple of rate hikes, but it's completely premature to say because Federal Reserve have a tendency to change their stance at any point of time. But it seems to be, as per the current data what we available and also the minutes of the meeting is reflecting that probably we are heading for a couple of rate hikes, and also the Bank of England and other central banks, they are taking a collective synchronized global liquidity tightening. That's what we are expecting at this point of time. And also from the discussion and the outcome of India's monetary policy is concerned, probably the markets were expecting a rate cut probably in December. That's taking delay. Okay, probably we don't expect a rate cut during this financial year. That's the reason markets are right now going through a kind of a consolidation phase right now. But what we see in these markets is there is a complete leadership rotation, and sometimes today, if you see, the mid and small caps are quite resilient despite of the headline indices drifting down.
Kranthi, we have talked about this time and again that for Nifty, 19,300 has emerged as a crucial support over the past couple of weeks. So, do you expect that a fall below that level could trigger a sell-off of 500 or 600 points?
It can be possible as per the market tendency is concerned, because it's always said markets in short term are voting machines. So if the sell-off further comes, it can drift it down. But we need to consider the fact there is a heightened buying activity that's taking place from the domestic institutional investors, and also retail investors also very active, and here and there the foreign portfolio investors have been buying regularly in Indian markets. They have been adding the further support to the market. So I don't think so there is a imminent correction in the market immediately. Markets have been quite resilient. If you see some days what we are witnessing is some kind of buying interest has been emerging in the lows of the day. So overall, we need to wait and watch how the market is going to hold the 19,000 level. So it is premature to say, but crossed our fingers how the things are going to pan out. But one thing is clear: whenever there is a drift down in Indian markets, whenever there is a correction in Indian markets, if we go with the numbers and data, every dip on Indian markets, it's a very good buying opportunities for the investors rather than scared about with the corrections in the market. Better to participate and take part in these kind of corrections for the investors.
All right,
But
Kranthi. Yes, Suyash.
but where to put money, because headliners have been under pressure. Nifty and Sensex have been under pressure for the past couple of months, and mid cap and small cap indices have given gains. But will it be safe to invest in the broader markets as opposed to blue chip companies at this point?
It all depends upon the risk appetite of the investors. If you see last couple of days, the defense PSUs and the stocks in defense, even the private sector defense companies also, they have been performing extremely good because of the visibility in their order book and the new orders they have been gaining in these kind of markets. One way, markets are drifting down, but whereas the defense stocks have been outperforming. And some days what we witnessed is PSU banks outperformed during the week. So investors need to see what kind of positional trading they are taking place. So accordingly, there are some opportunities emerging in this market. So investors need to consider those kind of opportunities because it's more stock specific rather than the sectorial segment specific.
All right, let's also quickly take a look at the top sectors and what sort of trends they showed today, this afternoon. If you could run us through some of these top gainers and losers at this point.
Yes, Shweta, definitely. So most sectors were under pressure today. As Kranthi pointed out, PSU stocks have been a favorite at least in this downturn, and Nifty PSU Bank once again emerged as a winner in that line. It was up about 0.87%. Banking stocks have been under pressure. Nifty Bank was down about 0.18%, while private bank was down about 0.24%. Now FMCG, auto, IT sector, all sectors ended in the negative territory today. Now if we are talking about individual stocks, Shweta, Adani Group stocks were able to buck trend, and Adani Twins in the Nifty pack were actually among the top gainers today. Adani Enterprises was up 1.42% and Adani Ports was up about 4.32%. Now this is the returns of all 10 Adani Group stocks which we have seen. Most of them ended today's session in the positive. Among the top gainers was also as mentioned, Adani Ports. We have other 5 companies which also include Ambuja Cements. Right. Now, among top gainers, Adani Ports as Adani Enterprises also obviously feature. Titan, Axis Bank and Bajaj Consumers also posted solid gains for investors today. Now, among losers was ITC, which was down about 2%. Power Grid Corporation, which was down about 1.85%, DV's Lab, which was down 1.66%, and Larsen & Toubro, which fell about 1.53%.